YouTube. This is the first one we're doing on YouTube. This is normally on Facebook. I'm going to wait and give people a chance to come in. So it's a bit of a tricky one, this. I'm hoping that people who normally watch me on Facebook will be able to see and know that it's gone over to YouTube this time. So we'll see how it goes. I think that we might end up it being that people can't find me, because at the moment it's just me. There's one person in. I'm going to assume that that's Susie, but I can't see any of the comments either. I wonder. Let me try and find it on my laptop, and then I'll be able to see the comments as normal. Oh, I can see a comment. It says, hello, Jeff. Ah, the comments are there. So we've got Kim Johnson, Crafting ABC. Amazing. Okay, so people are coming in now. Right, that's really good. I'm still going to open it on YouTube on the laptop, because then it enables me to see the comments a bit clearer. But I mean, this is much better. I don't know, just the general setup than when it's on Facebook, because I can see the comments a bit better. I think anyway. Yeah, I can see the comments better, and then it stays here forever. So let me get in YouTube. YouTube.com. Find myself. Beyond stamping. Wonder what the lag is like on YouTube. Whether it's different, because that's always a bit of a thing, really. There we go. Oh, live. Exit. Live. Seems to be working. There we go. Oh, live. Okay. So, I can see the comments now. So we've got Kim, we've got Crafting ABC, Rebecca Morton, Jane Luby, Sandra Hendry, Valerie Martin, Julie Nicholas. Hello, everybody. I'm glad that... oh, there's loads more people there now as well. I'm glad everyone's managing to find me. That's exciting. So, I wonder if we'll get anyone new who's just happens to be watching YouTube. I don't know if that happens, if that's a thing. I don't have any. Oh, actually, I do. It's over here in my box. Tissue. And then I will talk about what we're doing today. Let's have a look. Sorry about that. Here we go. I'm excited for it to be YouTube. Lovely. Sorry if that sounds a bit fuddy-duddy, but just excited for it to be on YouTube. So let's talk about what we're doing. Today, I thought we will use the Express Yourself stamp set, along with one or two others, and but we're going to focus in on the Express Yourself, talk about how to put them together, talk about the ways they're similar and different from the custom portrait sets, and then and just do an illustration from start to finish. So let's have a quick look. I think so there's Antonio Leone. I don't know whether you've sat on your phone or something, but there's the message is a bit hard to read. So, JML to Jean. Jean. Hi, Jean. Jean Lindley. Don't worry, Jean. And Tracy's here as well. Hi, Tracy. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to be looking at the Express Yourself set. Hopefully, this week, Maisie might not burst in and start screaming. But you never know these things. So let's have a quick look. Mother Goose's Makery. Oh, you cheeky devil, you're on YouTube today. I was wondering why I hadn't had a notification. So I said last week, we said so that's Hannah. I'm learning all of your little YouTube aliases now. That's exciting. So yeah, last week on Facebook I said we were going to try YouTube. We managed it. I wasn't going to do it, but then I thought, you know, we will stick to the plan because going forward YouTube's better because the videos don't disappear after the 40 days. I want to get my kind of YouTube presence a bit better because I think YouTube is a good way of sort of, you know, spreading the word a bit better. So yeah, exciting to be on YouTube. Let's have a look. Hello Josh and friends, I'm new to this. So this is Artistic Expressions by Sarah from Tennessee in the US. Love hearing about where people are from in the US. Obviously, I absolutely adore the UK customers and people who are a fan of the stamps. In the US, it's something to do with that thing where we used to watch US television in the UK. I just get excited hearing that people are from the US, and I feel like I'm speaking to celebrities. Carl Lloyd is from Liverpool, UK. That is we're in Ellesmere Port, so it's just down the road from us. Susie and I used to have a flat together, and I could see the Liverpool skyline from the flat. It was really cool, but then I think the trees grew over it anyway, and we moved. Let's have a look. So. Okay, right. I'm not going to just read the comments for ages. We're getting people watching now, and I think it is time to just crack on and have a go. There are 3 new stamp sets that have been sent to the manufacturers for them to tell me whether it's viable, because this is a thing with us. I think a lot of stamp companies, and I'm not dissing any stamp companies, but it can be easier for them because their stamp sets have a bit more free space on them. Whereas with Beyond Stamping, I make sure to pack every inch possible with an element that will enrich that stamp set. So it takes me a while to design them because I need to make use of all the space. And I think about it. Susie probably goes mad because it's just me asking her over and over and over again whether she thinks this is going to be okay, whether customers like it and stuff like that. So when I send them off to be factory formatted, they will sometimes come back to me and say there's too many stamps on there, you need to like either make some elements smaller or something, and we tweak it until it's perfect and everything just about fits. So I've got it's called Cats Being Cats, which is my new cat one. Let me show you. I think I've shown people, but this is, actually I haven't shown anyone the completed cats one. It looks like, it's in reverse, I think, on the camera. And the sentiment says, forever together and you are pawsome. But this is backwards. But it looks like this. Look at all those cool cats. And they're all in different sort of typical cat poses. There's a little fishbowl in there, which I love as well. Really like that fishbowl. And it's just like cats doing weird cat stuff that cats do, so that we can, you know, sort of make them very true to life. So it said, have you seen you guys? Oh, it's people so you can do portrait of people from behind. Oh, that's cool. So let's get going. Right, here we go. I'm going to I'm using the big pad today rather than my own paper, and that is just a space thing. I just make sure that we've got enough space. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't finish telling you about the stamps. We've got that one. We have the Magical Creatures set, which is, I'll show you. In fact, let me angle you down. It's rather than looking at my face, let's angle you down so we can see, and I will show you. That'll be better. Okay. I'll check whether we can see this. So there's the cat one. Here, have a look. Make sure that we are there. So cats being cats. Then we've got the rainy days set, which I will talk you through in a sec. I did my illustration with that, and this is actually using inks rather than watercolours, which I was very happy with. And yeah, so that's rainy days. And then we have got the magical creatures set, so that one's all ready to go. This I think is going to be absolutely perfect for making cards for children. I really am excited about this. My favourite thing about it is these little magical creatures. I don't even know what they're called, but it's like a little mushroom man. It's what I kind of imagine. If Smurfs were real, this is what I imagine that they would look like. Something like that. But there's two of these as well, because I imagine they're a little kind of married couple. There's the other one. They're lovely. And then we've got a griffin. There. Very proud griffin. We've got a fairy. We have dragon, unicorn, gnome, a mermaid. I love this little moon with the bits out of it. That, if inked well, this moon could be really impactful. And then this sentiment, the fonts in it, I love it. I spent ages on that sentiment. And then a little will-o'-the-wisp. They're not very common known thing, a will-o'-the-wisp, but I put wisp in the writing so you can use it, but I also put ghost. Now this one you'll be able to use in two parts. You'll be able to just have the little floating wisp head. They're like an Irish thing, I think, or Celtic, maybe good luck sort of thing. And you can have that, which you will be able to paste the ghost faces on from our Good Spirits set. So those three sets are going to be available for pre-order. Wait, I need to discuss with Susie about the pre-orders, but we will sort that. Anyway, let's do a bit of stamping. So I said that we were going to be, I'll put this here while I'm just chatting it through. Said that we were going to be, I just saw myself in YouTube and you can see the camera, you can see me talking. Now, I said on, what was it I said? What am I saying again? Oh yes, at the beginning, we're going to be focusing in on the Express Yourself sets. Let me see if I've got a packaged, should have some packaged sets in here. Yes. So Express Yourself 1 and 2. Now, Susie's probably telling me where they are now. There we go, I found it. So, Express Yourself 1 and 2, they look like this. It's the same concept as custom portrait sets, except these are called Express Yourself because the faces are more expressive and the bodies are in more expressive positions. So it adds a bit of movement into the way that we use them. The lag on YouTube is much shorter than the lag on Facebook, which means that I can see what I'm doing better. There we go. So you can see here we've got these faces, some with like concerned faces, crying, laughing. Got your normal smiling faces as well. Different haircuts, so that means that because I didn't want it to be that only a person with a certain haircut could have a certain expression. So I changed it so you can change the hairstyle. It's the same with the women's set. We've got all these different poses. Now these work alongside the custom portrait sets as well. So you can use the legs from those sets, you can use the heads from those sets as well, in sort of true beyond stamping fashion. What might be a good thing, I can't tell how many people are watching it on there, but I can probably see on here, I've got a good amount of people watching. So because we are new to YouTube, it might be a good idea to just talk through the brand. So we are Beyond Stamping. It's stamp sets that enable you to customize and create illustrations of your friends and family with customizable backgrounds as well. We got loads of different background sets like beach, woodland, like horizon sets and things like that you can use, and you can basically create whole worlds of illustration. For instance, this was made using stamp sets. This one isn't out yet. The lady here, she's from custom portrait number 1 or 2, I think it's 2 actually. And but all the background here, it was just made using stamps and some really simple line work, which is what we sort of become known for. The stamps lend themselves to adding the simple line work, but all these reflections, they're stamp sets. The puddles, frog, leaves, tree elements. This is completely customizable, so you can be wearing anything. I love these people with the umbrellas because it's a rainy day set. They have reflections as well. But yeah, if you go on Beyond Stamp, joshgriffithstudio.com, you will see what we're all about. Okay, let's do some stamping. So, I'm deciding as I go, by the way. Let me have a look on here. I just saw a message from someone called Cat Lover. It's gone now. I should be able to find it. It's in capitals. It just said, cats or dogs? And I don't know whether that is a question to me, do I prefer cats or dogs, or if it's something to do with something that I said earlier. So, if it is a question of, what do I prefer, I just like them both the same, but we have cats. I used to have a dog though, and our daughter Maisie is named after my childhood dog, Maisie, so that sort of says it all, really. Let's have a look. Just having a quick look through the comments before we carry on. Ooh, some people are popping me on the big telly box, which is weird. Feels daunting for some reason. Okay, let's crack on. Now, I've got my stamping ink, I've got my stamping block. That's all I need with the stamps to create the thing. Now, I'm going to make it up as I go. Let's do a person reading. Yeah, let's do a reading one. Okay. This lady is going to be reading. So with these sets, it doesn't really matter where you start. I'm going to start with the body here. Maisie's being good so far. Let me just check that I'm in the right place. So I'm aiming for roughly, let's move this up. Let's go here. Okay. So, boom. There we go. There's the first bit. Then I'm going to choose, so I've got to choose a face now. What face might someone be pulling when they are reading? I am going to do this shocked face because maybe she's reading a particularly shocking part of the book. I can tilt it down a little bit, like that. And we can see the illustration starting to come together. I'm going to add, which hair do I add? There's loads of different hairstyles here. Now the hairstyles are one of those things that's probably going to take the most getting used to. If you have a stamping platform, that might be a good way to go, or you can draw the hair on yourself. So I'm going to make sure that it's coming past. I think that's about right. That looks right to me. Okay. Let's go in with it. I've not used this stamp before. I can tell because it's perfectly clean. And I don't ever clean my stamps, but let's see if it works. Perfect. Then I can add the rest of the haircut here. There we go. I'm also going to add a little bit of the necking, because even though you can't see it in this bit, if we do a neckline, it makes it more obvious. Okay. Then the legs. Okay, so I might have her. She could either be wearing a skirt. If she's sat here like this, she could be wearing... No, trousers look best. I've gotten used to saying trousers now instead of pants, because I realised about the north-south and the US-UK divide. Pants in the US are trousers, I think. But pants in the south of the UK means underpants. And pants in the north of the UK, as far as I know, it's just trousers. So I've been saying things like, I don't know, I can't remember an example now, but I'm sure I said something on TV. Oh, I didn't get that bit. Let me just fill it in. Okay. I've been saying things on TV like, draw the lady in her pants, which you can do with the stamps if you so wish, but that wasn't what I was using them for. Okay, let's get her shoes on. She's going to be wearing trainers. Let me have a look. Hi Ali. Ali says, only just found you. Thank goodness. How many people are watching now? Let me have a look. Oh, that's good. Oh, Susie says, Maisie, well, it seems like maybe Maisie isn't being as good as I thought she was being. Here we go. I'm going to use these trainers. We've got bare feet, we've got flip-flops, got like pump style, but the trainers look good for this. There we are. Okay. Then I'm going to assume that there are some books piled up nearby, because this lady really likes reading. So I'm going to put the books here, and then I know that we can incorporate that into the illustration. So this is what I mean about, when I first started stamping with this, I'm going to get the end of a paintbrush to point with, but you can see here the sort of detail in the stamps with the pages. I love this, but when I first started stamping with it, that was more all black. But because I don't clean my stamp sets, this has the details coming through, because the residue, I started saying then, but the residue keeps the lines clear. It gives you a perfect registration. Okay, let me have a quick look at the oh, Rachel, that is a cracking joke. So Rachel said he's a fun guy, and I'm assuming that he was talking about the little mushroom man. That's amazing, and I'm gutted that I didn't think of that myself. So well done to Rachel. Okay, so so far we've got her sat down read. Is there anything else that I need? Oh, I know. Let's say she's having, this is from the men's set, this one, but obviously everything works together. While she's reading, she's also having a glass of wine. Let me put that there. I don't know whether to include a man in there, or another lady. But I think I'm going to leave it as it is, and we'll if we get round to it, we'll do another one. But I think this illustration so far is just working so well Let me see if I can get it a bit further in so you can see better. That's a little bit better. Okay. And then I've got glasses that she could be wearing. Maybe a hamburger. No, I'm not going to go too mad. But I will draw in the background now. Now I don't have a background set that is like a family home. It's definitely something that I need to bring out. Checking that whether I need this wire. I'm going to take this wire. Because if I did, I could start just, putting things up on the wall. In fact, I'm going to come up with that set. I've just decided now. Let's get... what am I going to do? Is she going to be wearing shorts? Or... No, I'm going to give her long trousers. Well, leggings. To go down to here. And I'm going to make her wear a jumper. I feel like, I don't know why, but reading is an activity that I just imagine people doing, wearing like cozy clothes. Now, let me draw in the background. So, I think she's going to be this here. There's going to be a coffee table here, definitely. So I'm going to add a little coffee table like this. How should I do? I'll give it legs. Like down there, and then the other one would be about here. So there's a little table. Bring it down a bit further. Really being sketchy at the minute. I think this lady is probably balancing a glass of wine on the arm of a chair, which I wouldn't advise. And the rest of the arm, the rest of the chair's here, so it's going to go up here. And then cushion is going to be coming down here. And coming all the way down here. Sometimes I'll draw something and then I think, I wish I had that. Like, for instance, this sofa looks really comfy. And I wish that it was my sofa. But our sofa is covered in food because we have children. Okay. Bring it down here. Okay. There's her sofa. That looks cozy. What else could I do to make this look just really cozy and cool? Maybe I'm trying to think of what I can stamp. I've got all these different sets. There's nothing that I can think of for an indoor house that's like gonna improve this. I'm gonna draw a few more things in. Okay, a rug, a fireplace. I like that. So thank you, Deb Ritchie and Jill Baxter. I'm gonna do a rug here. I'm not gonna go too mad. Because I'm not doing a whole huge illustration. I say that now, but I probably will. Everybody knows what I'm like now. I can't stop. I'm going to, so imagine this is a rug. Just some random patterns on there. Like this. Maybe a big circle. So there's a rug. And then a fireplace is a good idea. So I'm going to draw it in, but this might end up becoming the stamp that I bring out that has a fireplace in. I'm not going to do the whole thing in there because, I mean, I genuinely now, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't even remember what a fireplace looks like, but so that's something like what a fire looks like. Pretend it's got coal. A coal fire here. And there, a grate over it. But what I worry about is I'm not showing off the stamps here. I'm just doodling. So I won't do this for too much longer. And then we'll talk about some painting tips. There's a few people who've asked me recently about masking. So shout out if you're one of those people who had asked, because I saw on, I think it was on one of my reels, someone had said about, you know, could you do this? Could you show us how to do this? And I said, well, come to the live, but I don't know if that person's here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my painting. Which way am I going here? So I think it's, if I bring it this way, you can see the whole thing a bit better. Now today, I don't want to say too much about this, because this is, I'm about to tell you something about something I'm working on, but I don't want, it's, well, basically, if anyone's asking what these are, these markers, they are a prototype of sorts, so they're not out yet, and that's all I'm saying about that. Okay, but I'm going to be using them. They are water-soluble markers. I'm branching out a bit. I know that some of you use markers. Markers. Oh, I said that. So I thought I'm going to branch out a bit, and we're going to use these. I'm going to be using them in this very, very similar way to how I use watercolours. I'm going to put a little silicone sheet here, and that's going to help me mix. So, let me find my paintbrush. Alright, here's my paintbrush. I might have to use a small, I've got one here. I'll use a small paintbrush for this. Okay. I've got some water here. Oh, that's what I could have used. The lamp from the men's set. Do I still do that? Decisions. Okay, right then. Let me get the lady painted. So, here's how I would use markers. Especially if they were not alcohol markers, which these aren't. These are water soluble, and I love them. Okay. So we can get this lady painted. And what I'm doing now is I'm just putting in a base layer, and I'm remembering that over here is a fireplace that's going to be casting some shadow. Then subdue that slightly. add a bit more of a darker tone to that red with some warmer tones, and then go this side. Here we go. So the shadow's coming in now to the skin tone. Anywhere that's facing away from a light source. I wonder with these. Yes. So you can take it away slightly, you can lift it off the page a bit, which is perfect. Go a little bit darker. That's brilliant. Okay, now, so one thing that's really good about markers is that you can actually include detail with using the markers, which is brilliant. So I'm going to do that with this one. And she's, in fact, so she's going to be wearing a stripy top. So I'm going to put the stripes in first. There we go. I like painting stripy tops. I think I do it a lot. I'm going to have a load of black here to just dip into if I need as well, because that will subdue some of the colours. Okay. So again, anywhere that's not getting in the light can be coloured. Make some brown with red, black and yellow. And make a nice brown for her hair. Am I zoomed in enough here? I'm hoping that I can zoom in enough so that you can see the colouring process. I moved it away then, didn't I? So I think that's pretty much as far as I can get it. Yeah. Sorry guys, that's as far as I can get it at the minute, but hopefully you can see what's going on. There we go. Brown hair. Let's do what colour? Trying to think about what colours are gonna. I'm just gonna do kind of bluey, bit more aqua-y jeans. Okay, and then I'm going to use another layer of that to create a bit of shadow. We'll do that again in a sec as well. In the meantime, let's get this fire painted. I say painted. Do I need to be saying inked now instead of painted because I'm using inks? Let's have a go. Yellow flames, a bit of orange in there. And then I'll go straight in with some, oh my word, I know I love watercolour, but I am really enjoying using the pens. I think there's an element of the fact that it seems to go a bit further, like the paint that's loaded, or the ink I should say, that's loaded into the brush doesn't run out as quick as it would with watercolour, which gives you a little bit more scope for painting. I'm going to do a sort of purpley sofa. We'll do a bit of red and a bit of blue, and we'll control it with other colours. So for anybody who is new here, I do a lot of talking about colour. And when I colour things, my main goal is to subdue the colours so that it doesn't look too cartoony. And that's what I've always hated. Not hated. I keep saying hated recently, and Maisie says it sometimes. And me and Susie are like, we don't hate. Hate is not something that we want to be saying, but I keep saying I hate, like, I don't know, Rice Krispies or something that's totally inane. And I need to stop it, get rid of it from my vocabulary. We don't hate. But what I disliked about painting with markers was that you couldn't really control the colours, because I use rules of warming up colours and cooling down colours, and that's how I paint. But what I'm finding is that with this sort of method, it makes it, you can still get the same effect. I'm going to leave some white around the outside here. Okay. Let me have a quick look. Yeah. So Hannah said, hate is a strong word, Joshua. That is... Let me have a look. What have I missed? I can't see the comment, but someone let me know if Maisie's alright. Hi Margaret. So Margaret said, I'm new, my first time on here, and we're very happy to have you here. Okay, so let's add a bit of detail now with some of the pens. So I can now take this pink, which will act by just highlight or low lighting some of these brick elements. I can also come in with some yellow, which will do the same thing. And then the black I'll take from here. And we'll do the same thing with that as well. Add a bit of shadow where there needs to be shadow. But this is what I'm all about, adding low lights. Like, look at this with the trousers. It's so easy to add these shadows now. It's working out really well, this. I'm also going to enhance the purple with some blue and red. So that's the thing. If I ever do bring out my own version of something to colour stamps with, I'm only going to bring out those primary colours, because I only use primaries because I like mixing. Oh no, one sec. I'm just going to go and check if Maisie's alright. Just give you 1 sec. She's fine. She got pooed on by a bird. Okay, right then. Let me... Oh, anyone else losing sound? So let me know if you guys are losing sound at all, because we're all new to this YouTube thing. Yeah, so what I was saying was, if I ever bring out my own, hint, hint, I'm not going to bring out a lot of colours because I believe strongly that mixing colours adds the cohesion to a lot of the makes. So what I mean by that is, you know, if a lot of colours are derived from the same colours, like, for instance, if I was to choose a green pen when I was doing this carpet, if I were to try and match the colour with a pen that was just green, then it hasn't come from any of the colours that I've been mixing prior to that. So there isn't as much of a chance that there are going to be colours that bring it, you know, bring out or bring in the colours that I've already got on the page. So I want cohesion. I'll say that a lot, I think. It's like colour cohesion. Maybe I'll do a little course or something, or like something that I can explain a bit better. If everything derives and you're mixing the colours yourself, then there's still elements of the original colours that you've been using, and that creates cohesion.
Keeps cutting out your sound.
Does it? Someone else said that?
Yeah. Oh, that's a really nice illustration. I don't know why, because obviously I'm in the same.
Okay. How do I get rid of the iron shot? Is it okay? Right, I can hear myself quite a lot. Is the sound cutting out for everyone? Okay. I wonder why that is happening. Okay, so some people are getting the sound and some people aren't, so I wonder what that's about. We'll carry on, and if I need to, I can switch back to Facebook and see whether that works, but we want to try and keep going with YouTube as best as possible so that the comments don't disappear. But anyway, so what I was saying was, yeah, colour cohesion. I want everything to derive from the same thing so that I can see elements of the colour. I know I've said this a million times. I feel like I'm driving the point home a bit too much. You're probably going, all right, Josh, sure. I'm going to get rid... No, I'm not. I'm going to keep that there because they're colours that I can use. But what I am going to do is I'm going to draw in some floorboards. Now, here's a nice tip. I'm going to bring this down here. So, hopefully you can see a bit under there now. Let me have a quick look. If I move over to here, can you see my pen? Yeah. And if I move over here, you can see it a bit. So, floorboards. This is a good tip for drawing anything that where all the lines are parallel, but you want them to look like they're moving. You'll see what I mean in a second. I'm going to do it with pencil first. Pick a point. I'm going to pick a point. Oh, that pencil hasn't got a nib. Let me get another pencil. Here's one. Nope, that one's holding my table up. There's one. Right. So, I could draw the floorboards. Let me just check time, sorry. Oh, we haven't got too long. Okay. I could draw the floorboards going this way for ease, so horizontal. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to imagine that there's wooden floorboards and they're coming out this way. But the way I do that, they're going to change direction as they go, because when you look at something with parallel lines, when the lines are coming towards you, they go from side to side. And I'll show you what I do. I pick a point anywhere. I'm going to pick a point here. So by her head, and do a ruler line. In fact, I want them to start here. So I'm going to pick the corner of the fireplace there. That's a better one. So I'm going to start here. And then my first floorboards are going to come out from behind the sofa here. And I make sure that the ruler always starts at that same point. Now look what happens when I do that. They change a lot more drastically towards the middle. And this. And then as it gets towards you, those floorboards will actually change direction. Like this. So this is a nice drawing technique. The one thing that's going to scupper a bit is my carpet, because I've not done the carpet the same, but I can change that. So that's what I mean. Let's see whether it's worked. Yeah, so those floorboards look quite cool now. And that works with anything. So anything where there's parallel lines that are coming towards the viewfinder in the picture, you can use that trick where you just put one mark somewhere you want, and then make sure that the line comes from there every time. Now, I'm not going to fix the rug, even though I should, but I'll just come down here with this. Now, like this. And eventually you get an eye for that, and you can do it without even using the ruler. There we go. So there's the floorboards in the house. Now I will just do a little bit of rubbing out of those lines. This hour has gone incredibly quickly. I will use a slightly bigger brush, and let's do a brown. Let's do a brown. That's not what you want to hear. Sorry, I'm being really immature. And then a little bit of black. So I'm just using these in the same way that I would use watercolours. The benefit is that it's the inks are a little bit more malleable, and you can use them in the same way, because I can still get this lovely brown here when I'm doing a brown. And then somehow the inks allow for a bit more duration on the brush. I don't know how that works really. But then, as you can see, so, and when people talk, who do I think I am? When you guys are at home talking amongst yourselves about my paint palette. What I meant to say was, so when I'm talking about my paint palette and I talk about the fact I don't clean it, that colour cohesion thing comes into it so much. Now let's have a look. I'm going to do a bit of shadow here. Now the fire's there, so the shadow's all going to be this way. I'll add a bit, I might add a bit of black on here, like this. And then I can brush that in myself. That's quite handy. And then a little bit of shadow anywhere where you think there should be shadow. Like this. Under there. Under her feet. under the coffee table and under here. Maybe on some of these lines here on the floorboards, and I can do little marks as well so that everything doesn't look so pristine, which is, like I mentioned earlier, that thing about the you know, the I can't remember what I'm saying now. Inks rather than paints, you know. I was saying it's like I wanted it to be less cartoony. It actually doesn't even come into it because inks work in the same way as paints do. What I'm going to do up here, because that thing there, the little splatter thing, is the wall behind her. I'm going to add in a bit of yellow and just loads of water to act as though it's light shining on the wall up here. I like that. Okay, the books. That one's red. And that one's red. I feel like red's quite a booky colour. Pink one there. Add a bit of yellow in there. And the top one's yellow. Oh, actually blue as well. I need a blue book in there, but I can colour over the yellow to make a bluey green. And then I'm going to use a bit of black to subdue some of those bits there. Oh, and coal as well. I can sort of colour straight into there. Okay. Well, that is probably... I can't quit. I'm awful and I can never quit, but one last thing I need to do is just do a little bit more. Because of that fire, I want the shadow on her skin to really pop. And also the fact that like her shocked face there, I feel like she's reading a horror book. It's either a horror book or it's you know, like a sort of drama where something really dramatic's happened. But I want the atmosphere to be there. And it is. Okay, that's about all I'm going to get time for today. For this illustration anyway. We managed to get pretty much to the end without Maisie running in, which was both lovely and a bit gutting, because it's actually kind of nice when she comes in, because she really shows an interest in what we're doing. She wants to be doing the same. It's quite lovely. Okay, so let's talk about what we did. Let's angle this up, spin it around. Okay, so, oopsie, spilled the water. Luckily, I've got, what's my jig? I didn't spill it on the thing. I'm holding the thing. But, oops, I did spill it on my other illustration. Good to know that this happens to everyone. I'm sure you guys spill stuff all the time. I'll ruin my other illustration. But all's well. Worst things happen at sea. Okay, so what did we do other than spilling that? In fact, let me get some tissue out of there. And then we'll talk about what we did. So we had a good amount of people watching. That's really great. I'm happy that people have managed to find us on YouTube. If you're new here, welcome. I forgot to, normally we don't do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. We make a big show, a big fuss of new people, because I love the fact that the community is growing. It's always growing. You know, the stamps, I know it's easy for me to say, but they're a really unique thing that somehow have brought people together. Crafters, I worked in the crafting industry before this. I used to work for Sizzix as a designer, but never have I felt more connected to the crafting community and sort of free. It's been, it's absolutely lovely. So what did we use today? We used the Express Yourself 1 and 2. I think we've got stock of these on the website. Express Yourself 1 and 2. If you were watching, hopefully I explained them well enough. But they work in the same way as the custom portrait sets. You build them up, but they're just more expressive. Hence, Express Yourself. They have positions and faces for all different occasions, like, you know, whether it's someone having a cup of tea, on the laptop doing work. We've got people relaxing, we've got people drinking, having food, playing games on a console. We have people, it's the same in both sides. We've got reading, but then you have those expressive facial expressions like this one that we did in today's illustration. Can you see it? Can I see that? Stand up. There we go. So this is today's illustration. You can see this lady's face. Obviously that's from the Express Yourself set. This is completely built up from the Express Yourself set. Now this illustration, yeah, we've been doing it for an hour, but really it took half of that time because I was gabbering on for a lot of it. But it was really lovely to do, and using those sets allows you to tell a bit more of a story in the illustration that you're putting together, because it's like, oh, why is this person laughing, or what's happening, this person's laughing at this person. You know, you can tell by this person's body language that they are anxious or angry, so it gives a bit more scope for creating more lively scenes. So they're on the website. Coming up, we have these 3 brand new stamp sets. I'm going to get the pre-orders up after I've spoken to Susie. We'll get them available on the website as soon as possible. But they are nearly ready. Like they're all finished and factory formatted, and have been sent to the manufacturers. They just need to give me the go ahead, and then I can order them in. So, but yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me have a quick look through the comments before I go. We are already 2 minutes past, but I can see here. In fact, I'm going to read the comments after this because there's loads of comments and it's really, really lovely. I am going to do some furniture stamps. So that's Hannah. From Mother Goose's Makery. Jill Klein says, I bought your first stamp sets when you were with Sizzix. Thank you very much. Yeah, I love those stamp sets, and you can kind of see the style already developing in those stamp sets. And then we can see... Okay, well, I hope you've had a really lovely time watching. Going to be on YouTube from now on, so we'll make sure that goes out in the group. The sound thing, I hope that it wasn't too bad for those people who that was affecting. And yeah, amazing. I will see you next time. Thanks everybody. I've got to work out now how to turn it off.